Hey everyone, welcome to Pink Tutu Tarot. So today we're going to take a look at your relationship and see where it's going, where it's headed. I've got 3 groups for you to choose from. The cards on the table right now, those were taken from your reading. For group 1, and these all have some resonance to your reading. Group 1, this is your card. I'm just going to let you look at the image. You can decide and take a look and see what one resonates with you. Group 2. In group 1, your number was 27. Group 2, your card number is 20. Sometimes the numbers mean something to you. And finally, group 3. And it's card number 1. So pick a card that speaks to you, that resonates with you in some way. Something in the picture, the number, and just go down into the description box, click on the timestamp for your group, and it'll take you right to your reading. And I will see you in there. Thanks, y'all. Hey, group 1. Okay, we're going to take a look at where your relationship is going. So the card that you picked is card number 27. The name of this card is Compassion. Now, sometimes I go by the name, a lot of times I go by the picture, what I see and feel with the image here. But we'll talk about that after we get some more cards on the table. So we're going to look at your person's energy, we're going to look at yours, we're going to look at your relationship, and then we'll get some final messages from Spirit for you. All right. I'll pull some cards for your person first. Okay. All right, we have the 6 of Swords, 4 of Swords reversed, and the World. Just a tiny bit. All right, get a few more. Six of Cups, the High Priestess, and 8 of Wands. All right, I'm going to take a look at your energy now. I've got a different deck here. We have the World, Ace of Wands reversed, 4 of Swords reversed. Interesting synchronicities there. Oh, let's do a little more shuffle and I'll get some more cards here. Interesting that your person ends with the World and you start with the World. The Sun reversed, the Hermit, and 3 of Pentacles reversed. All right, and before we get into those, I'm just going to pull a few cards here just on your relationship. So this is your person, this is you. That said, as I get into the reading, if you feel like the roles are reversed, go ahead and reverse them. That happens sometimes, so don't think twice about that. right, we have the crucible. Let me make sure you can see these. Okay. Sex. And the obstacle. All right. Give me just a minute. I want to take these in, get some initial messages for you, and then we'll get started with your reading. All right, I'm going to start with your person. So their initial energy is the Six of Swords over the Six of Cups. It's an energy of leaving a situation that actually meant a lot to them. I feel like they cared for you more than they let on. And they left you, or they distanced themselves from you in some way. Not because they didn't care about you. That wasn't the reason. So if you had been wondering, why did they act this way? Why did they distance themselves? Why did they ghost me, leave? This was, early on. It wasn't because they didn't care about you. They felt like it was the right thing to do. And then they move into this energy of Four of Swords and the High Priestess. And they may have come back toward you at that point. I mean, take that as it resonates, but that's what I'm feeling. Like they pulled away and then came back through. As if they had done some healing and got to a point where they were ready to be what you needed them to be. So your person may be with you now, may not be. That's sort of a tricky energy. Their heart is with you for sure. But physically and, emotionally, are you guys connected? I think for some of you, yes. For some of you, maybe not. But there certainly is this feeling on their part that they are either with you psychically or they are with you after a period of healing, and healing from, possibly past triggers, old wounds, childhood type things with the Six of Cups. And where they're headed in this relationship it's like a complete turnaround. They go from pulling away to then, doing a lot of healing and introspection and figuring things out for themselves. And then with this energy, it's like they come swooping back in. They're either in your life now and you see this change in them where like they finally get it. They finally know without question, without doubt what they want. And they're not going to hide from it anymore. And if they're not with you, they're going to come, same situation. They're going to come swooping in and tell you that. So whether you're with them now or not, it really doesn't affect this other than, whether they're coming in or they just sort of have this revelation and they're not willing to hide from their own feelings anymore. They no longer want to protect their own heart. They want to give it away. This feels like, really good healing energy on their end. Troublesome in the beginning. but a good progression. Now your energy. You start off with the World card over the Sun reversed. Early on in your relationship, it's almost as if you knew something was going to end. Like early on. Maybe you sensed it from your person. Maybe that's just where the relationship was headed. But there is this sense of happiness, joy. You really cared for them. But you knew it was coming to a close, and that brought you some sadness. That brought you a little bit of heartbreak, despite the fact that this person made you happy. And then we move into this Ace of Wands reversed over the Hermit. Like your person, it shows you going within. This is a very isolated, solitary time. You're not reaching or grasping for them in any way. It's almost like you're quietly letting this what is the right word? Like you're quietly letting it either fade away or pass away, or just like what I'm seeing in my mind's eye is like in the forest floor when you see a tree that has fallen and has started to decay and just goes back into the earth to be regenerated. It's really kind of that energy where you're letting what was decay and die away, but then using that fertilizer to grow something new. And then we get into where you're headed. 4 of Swords reversed over 3 of Pentacles reversed. You get to a place where you no longer want to wait anymore either. And I'm going to pull some more cards so we get a little more idea. But this 3 of Pentacles, when I see this card, I do read it usually different than the typical 3 of Pentacles reversed or 3 of Pentacles upright. If you look at her upright, she looks really miserable, really disappointed, frustrated, just miserable. And so when I get this card upside down, I see it as like shaking that off. All right, I'm going to get some clarity here and go a little deeper on each of these energies just to see what else we can see, and then we'll talk about your relationship. This energy here for you is a little stubborn. It's like you didn't want this to die away, but once you let it go, you had a hard time, or will have a hard time opening up to their energy when they come back in like guns a-blazing, ready to sweep you off your feet. It feels very much like, whoa now, I'm not so sure. I was getting kind of used to the silence and the, isolation. My warning to you is, don't get too comfortable with isolation. We're here to connect and to learn from each other, so you just want to be careful about that. Okay. Spirit, can you give us one card, please, for the 6 of Swords and the 6 of Cups? Ten of Pentacles. There's a lot of happiness there, being dragged down by some heavy, heavy sadness, some heavy burdens. They really cared about you in a really special way. I almost wonder if you guys didn't start out as friends or something other than romantic, because there's this really sweet energy of having known each other forever. And that doesn't mean you weren't romantic, but yeah, it's that kind of energy of just so comfortable and happy and content with each other. And yet they still pulled away. Can you give us one card to help us understand why Group 1's person pulled away? Please, Spirit. Can you give us more information on that? The Magician. They weren't ready for you. They weren't ready for how powerful this connection felt. They needed to pull back because it was very overwhelming, is what I'm hearing and feeling. And they weren't sure what to do with that. Spirit, can you give us one card, please, for the Four of Swords reversed and the High Priestess? Dropping cards. I don't typically do jumper cards, in case you're wondering. My spirit guides tell me when to stop shuffling and when to pull a card, so that's what I do. When cards jump, it's just because I'm clumsy. Okay. Queen of Swords reversed. So they healed. They went within. But they were still quiet. They weren't really telling you. If you guys are in communication, they're not really telling you what's going on within them. If you're separated, then that makes sense also. They're just not speaking. They're very, very quiet right now. Why are they so quiet? Can you give us a card on that, please? Page of Wands reversed. They're feeling better within themselves. But they're not sure what to do. They're not sure where things are headed. They're not sure how you feel. They're not sure at this point right now what the next steps should be. And so they're just pulling back. But that's not where it's headed. This is where it's headed. So whatever you're feeling right now, if you're feeling like, they're not around, they're not giving you enough attention, they're not there for you enough, they're not conveying their feelings enough, it's because they're trying to figure out where to go next, how to move from this energy to the world in Eight of Wands energy, how to break through and get your attention. All right, Spirit, can you give us one card, please, for the world and the Eight of Wands? Four of Cups. Yeah, they're heading towards an energy, and it won't be long now, where they really want to burst through and tell you everything. Tell you what they've been doing, how they've been feeling, what they've been thinking, where they want this relationship to go. Just really spill the beans and sweep you off your feet and go forward with you. But there's a concern on their part that you might not be interested anymore. That if they come in with this gift, this emotional gift, that you're not going to be interested. You're still just going to be thinking about these empty cups over here and what didn't work out, and maybe your heart's not in it. So there is a little bit of that. All right, let's take a closer look at your energy. Spirit, can you give us one card, please, for the world and the Sun reversed? Ace of Cups reversed. Yeah, early on there was definitely some sadness, some disappointment, and it may be, when this person pulled away, whether they pulled away or they left or they just kind of went silent on you, it really kind of destroyed you. And like I said before, it is kind of like part of you knew it was coming, but that didn't make it any easier. And I feel like it took a long time for you to close that door. To not leave the door cracked open, waiting for them to come back in their full glory like they always used to. If you notice in this card, in the World card, they're asking me to look at his eyes. And his eyes are closed. And his glasses are in his lap. And they're saying, part of you knew that this ending, this pulling apart, part of you knew it was going to happen. But you still closed your eyes to it. You didn't want to see it. You didn't want to accept it. You didn't want to let them go. Because it was like they took all of your happiness with you when they left. So now we're in the Ace of Wands reversed in the Hermit energy. Spirit, can you give us another card to help us see more about where group 1 is round about now? Very solitary energy. The Hanged Man reversed. The energy here is you're spending a lot of time alone, trying to figure things out, trying to find your way, trying to see things from a new perspective, from your person's perspective, from a perspective that you haven't, really truly considered before, but you're having a hard time of it. You're having a bit of a hard time putting yourself in their shoes. You're having a hard time understanding exactly why they pulled away, why they went quiet on you. And part of it's because they did go quiet on you. They didn't explain themselves. They didn't tell you what was going on. They pulled away so that they could heal, so that for lots of reasons. They pulled away because they were scared and insecure. And because the idea of your love between the two of you felt so big and overpowering that almost by instinct they pulled away. But nothing was ever really explained to you, I feel. And so seeing things from their perspective is really hard. But I do feel like you're trying. All right. Spirit, can you tell us more about the Four of Swords reversed and the Three of Pentacles? Where is group one? Where are they headed as far as this relationship? Where is their energy going? Five of Cups. Well, you have a choice. That's what I'm being told. There is this kind of stubborn energy, tired of waiting, tired of being alone, tired of trying to figure everything out on your own. And you're in sort of this Five of Cups energy. Now, you can be this person in the back with the empty cups, walking away, or you can be this person in the front, holding on to the full two cups that are left. And the Two of Cups in tarot is a card of romance, of coming together, of partnership, relationship. You have a choice here. And I can't tell you what you should do. That's on you. You can see where their energy is. And I completely understand your energy. But soon, you're going to come to a point where you're going to have to decide what you want. And I'm being drawn back to this card here. Two things about this card. This is what I see. Number one, this person on the card, to me, what I see is they've ripped their heart out and handed it to the other person. I feel like early on, you did that for them. And then they ran away. I also feel that they are about to do the same for you. And will you run away or will you accept it? And I'm being reminded that the name of this card, again, is compassion. I can't tell you whether you should stay or go, move forward with this person or not. That's a personal choice. But Spirit really wants you to at least remember what it felt like to give your heart to someone. and have compassion for them, because their feelings are genuine. When they come in and offer you the world, their feelings are genuine. They're going to put their heart on their sleeve for you. So just don't take that lightly. That's my advice to you from Spirit. All right, I'm going to look at your relationship now. So we have the crucible. This is an energy of, what I'm getting out of it anyway, is an energy of one person feeling trapped. You see this bird in the cage, and one flying free, which is, I feel like, is exactly what was going on here in this situation. You know, they pulled away and you shut down. But no matter what is going on between you, there is so much passion, there's a lot of desire. But I'm not just talking about sexual desire. Although this card is, the name of it is sex, that's not what I'm getting out of it. Yes, that is part of it. But what I'm seeing are two people coming together and just sort of melting into one person. There is so much passion and love in your connection that even if you're apart, you both still feel each other. But you do have an obstacle to overcome, and that's this card, the obstacle. The obstacle is surmountable. That's what I'm being shown here. It's not a mountain you can't see over. It's not an ocean you can't see to the other side. You do have to get through this rocky situation. But through it, you have blue skies, you have sun, you have love. There is beauty on the other side of this challenge. All right. Got some final messages here for you. This is a love oracle deck. And we'll see what Spirit wants to tell you as we wrap up this reading. And thank you guys so much for being here, and just, I love your comments. I really, truly appreciate all your comments and your stories and telling me what resonated and how. And it means a lot to me to know that these readings reached you and made a difference in some way. So thank you so much for that, and for your likes and subscribes. Okay. All right, we have the snake, healthy choices, and karmic relationship. Yet this all has karmic relationship written all over it. Now, typically the snake card is a card of jealousy, a card of manipulation. You know, it's not the best card. But what I'm really getting from it is more of a transformation. You know, when a snake sheds its skin, it's almost like they become new again. And I do feel like that's happening for both of you. And as you both make healthy choices and work on yourselves, to work on filling your own cup, making yourself happy, that's a good thing. The challenge for you, I believe, is you've gotten so used to filling your own cup that you've forgotten how good it feels when someone else fills it for you also. And then karmic relationship. For sure, the two of you are in, if this reading resonates, and I would think if you're still here, it must, the two of you are for sure in a karmic relationship. You may be soulmates, you may be twin flames. There's some karmic element to your union, which means that you both have lessons to learn from each other. It doesn't mean you have to be together forever. You have free will. You can make up your own mind about that. But if you can get through this and see what the universe, what spirit is trying to show you, and learn from it and grow from it and evolve from it, then you can move on from that karmic cycle with this person or without them. I mean, that's completely up to you, but the lessons will just keep coming back in a different form, with a different person, in a different way, but they'll still keep coming back if you don't learn from them now. And I do feel like with all this energy that both of you are learning and growing and changing. So that's really good news. And I don't know, this is a very, very special connection that the two of you have. Very interesting. All right, y'all, that's all I've got for you. I hope that was helpful. I hope it gives you some insight, and I thank you so much for being here. Bye-bye, y'all. Hey, group 2. Okay, we're going to take a look at your relationship and see where it's going. So the card that you picked is card number 20. If you can see it, there's a girl sitting in a chair reading a book and a great big blue bunny kind of watching over her through the window from outside. So I know what this card means in the book, but I tend to read this deck as through the images, through the imagery. So I'm going to let that sit for now, and we'll do your tarot cards and look at your person's energy and then your energy, and then this will come to play in a bit. I feel like I'm already getting messages from that card, but I don't want to jump the gun here. So let's start by looking at your person and what's going on with them. We have the Star reversed, Six of Swords reversed, Two of Wands reversed. Let's get a few more cards here. Ten of Wands reversed, King of Cups, and the Fool reversed. All right. Let's look at your energy, see where you are. we have Five of Pentacles reversed, the Lovers, and Six of Swords. Very interesting energy already. Three of Cups, Six of Cups reversed, and the Strength card. All right, and then I'm going to pull 3 cards for your relationship, and then we'll talk about what's here. It already looks to me like you've had a bit of a reconciliation with this person. Maybe you were separated. Maybe things weren't going so well. Things were challenging, difficult. But on the mend now, which is nice to see. There's like this feeling of relief. We have awareness. Make sure you can see those cards. Yeah. The initial difficulty and your inner guide. Okay. So your person's energy here. This is a past energy where you were, where they were before. They were in a place where they were losing hope in regards to your relationship. They didn't know what else to do. It's like they were working hard but getting nowhere. Working on themselves. Trying to heal and prepare and like be ready to be with you again. Anything else, Spirit? All right, they're saying they wanted to see you happy, but they just couldn't be there. They just couldn't do that for you. Not at that time. But now we're in, in this present energy, you've got the Six of Swords reversed over the King of Cups. It's an energy of returning to you, of having left and coming back, whether that was physically, emotionally, but in some way they pulled away and left, but now they're back. If they're not back right now and you're listening to this, listen a little longer, because it may be that you're not quite, this is present energy, but maybe you're not quite there. So this may still be your reading. But they have grown a lot in the time they've been away emotionally. They are much more open now, much more centered, heart-centered, and not afraid of who they are and what they feel and how they feel about you. And this is a big turnaround for them. It feels like a really big up-leveling, and they know it too. They're ready for you now. And what I'm seeing here in the, where your relationship is going, where things are going with them. We've got the Two of Wands reversed over the Fool reversed. They're not taking any chances. They have no more decisions to make. They've made their decision, and you are the one. They've chosen you, and they're not taking any chances. They're not risking your relationship anymore. They don't want to let you go, and they're not going to let you go ever again. And what I'm hearing here with this card is, in a sense, they never really left. They may have kept one eye on you, not in a weird, creepy stalker way, but just to make sure you're okay, kept an eye on you when they could. But what I'm hearing is they're never going to leave you again. It's beautiful energy. And we'll look a little deeper in a sec. But let's look at your energy. So your past energy is 5 of Pentacles reversed over the 3 of Cups. You wanted to be happy too, but also struggling with this abandonment. You did pick yourself up. You kind of picked yourself up, brushed yourself off, told yourself, this is the way it's got to be. If he needs to leave, he needs to leave, or she. And you made the best of it. You made the best of a really hard situation. I see that, what I'm seeing is you spending time with friends, with family, doing what you can to enjoy the rest of your life, despite your person's absence. But you still felt it. This 5 of Pentacles is still a hurt energy. You just did your best to push the hurt aside and help yourself be as happy as you could be. Now in the present energy, we've got the Lover's card and the 6 of Cups reversed. The Lover's card is the 2 of you come together. He's come back, or she has come back. Your person has come back to you. But it's not just their decision. You also have to choose them. And I do see that you are or will choose them. This is a divine connection. In some way, you are meant to be together. Maybe in a big way. But you're also letting go of the past. In the past, this person may have cut you off before, ghosted you, left you hanging, didn't explain themselves when they just couldn't be open with you. And it left you confused and wondering what you did, when really you probably didn't do anything. This was about them. And so they come back, and it would be easy for you to say, well, this person's just going to do it again. They've done it before, they'll do it again. But I see you letting go of that. I see you trusting, seeing that they've grown, seeing how they've changed, and trusting when they say, I'm never going to leave you again, trusting that. And then we get into this future energy, where you're headed with this relationship. You're headed towards calmer waters from where you've been, but I don't see you going alone. In this card, there's the passenger and the driver. And the driver is what's standing out to me. As opposed to the 6 of swords that they had, there was no driver. There's one person being pulled by their own thoughts. But for you, it's like the 2 of you are going together to a better place, where you're going to feel more secure, more compassionate, more confident, more whole. Because you both have grown, spiritually, emotionally, in so many ways. You've grown and changed, and you went from being together to being apart and then growing back together again. And it's really beautiful. Okay. Well, let's get a little deeper in these cards. Let's get some clarity here. See what else we can see about your person. Spirit, can you give us one card, please, for the Star reversed and the Ten of Wands reversed? Let's look at their past energy and see what else was going on there. Losing hope. Not knowing what to do next. Feeling like, a little bit like they've, working so hard but going nowhere, getting nowhere. Ten of Swords. All right. Can you give us one card, please, for the Six of Swords reversed and the King of Cups? That's your person's present energy coming back to you. More emotionally stable, knowing what they want. Knowing that even the most turbulent waters are not going to scare them away. Not anymore. Nine of Swords reversed. And finally, where they're headed. Two of Wands reversed over the Fool reversed. Can you give us one card for that, please, Spirit? Death and Rebirth reversed. All right, so their past energy. A lot of pain there. A lot of pain, a lot of doubt and questioning and burdens that they didn't know how to release. But they stayed hopeful. This Ten of Swords, it's a very hopeful Ten of Swords in this deck. This person is looking out at the horizon and understanding that something needs to end, but also seeing that the sun is rising and a new beginning is on its way. So as hard as it was to leave you, to be away from you, to go within and do what they need to do, they did see the bigger picture in it and understood why it was the best thing for both of you. Now in the present energy, coming back to you, more stable emotionally, there's still some worry and some concern there. Worry that maybe you won't take them back. Worry that you won't trust them. Worry that you won't feel the same way anymore. But the worry is not overwhelming. The card's in reverse. Those worries are fleeting because they're going to talk to you if they haven't already. And everything will be out in the open. And I do see you choosing them. And then where it's headed, they're not taking any chances. They have no more decisions to make. What I'm hearing with the Death card in reverse is they've already transformed. So this Death card is not, it's not an ending. It's a beginning. And, normally you would want, at least in this situation, I would assume you want the Death card upright, as in the old is gone and the new is beginning. But what I'm hearing is this transformation has already happened. And so here it's just a letting go. A letting go of what was. Letting go of any fear or doubt. And just being still with you. Anything else about that, Spirit, that you want to say? Right, they're saying there may be in the near future, after they come back or after you've reconciled, there may be times when they still have responsibilities outside of your relationship that are going to take them away from you. And that's not going to end for a bit, for a little bit. But their heart is with you. And it's very, very important that you know that. And at some point, those responsibilities, those obligations, not obligations, maybe obligations, it depends, for everybody how you would look at that, but their responsibilities will resolve themselves at some point. And when that happens, then it really will be a new beginning. It's not quite there yet. So in some ways, that's right on there. They have already transformed. They've already been through their death and rebirth cycle. They are renewed. Your relationship and their life still has some passages to go through. More so outside of the two of you, but it does affect you. If there's something pulling him away from you in your relationship, then it does affect you. And so there's still a little bit of time there. All right, let's get deeper in your energy. Spirit, can you give us some clarity on the Five of Pentacles reversed over the Three of Cups? The Hierophant reversed. You're trying to make the best of a difficult situation and doing your best to stay happy. There were some lessons at that time you needed to learn, and I see some resistance to that. But you're coming around. And I feel like by the time you get to this present energy, you really have resolved that. But you probably recognize that there was a point here where you were resisting this change before you finally sort of gave in. And when you gave in, you may have given in not of your own free will, sort of. Like you may have not really had much of a choice. But there are lessons to be learned there, and I think you've learned them for the most part. Okay, Spirit, can you give us a card, please, for the Lovers over the Six of Cups reversed? The Wheel of Fortune reversed. It's still going to take some time. And we saw that with your person's energy as well. For things to completely turn around. It will still take some time. But you're on the right track with this energy. What I'm seeing here with this card is that you're not trying to fix it. anymore. And in the past, you may have tried really hard to fix the situation when really it was something you couldn't fix, because it was something that was inside of them, and they needed to do that themselves. So you're not trying to fix it anymore. You're not trying to force it or push it. You're just letting it happen. And it will take some time for everything to resolve itself, for both of you to be in a place where you're both comfortable with each other again and in a full state of trust. But it is coming. And you'll see that. What I'm hearing is there's an energy of saying goodbye to the past and like wishing for the future. Like you're not quite in the future yet, if that makes sense. With this Wheel of Fortune reversed, you've kind of shut the door on the hard challenges that you had with your person in this relationship, but you know something beautiful is on its way. Like the door has been cracked open. It's not all the way open yet. But you can see the light creeping through. All right, can you give us a card, please, for the Six of Swords and the Strength card? The Empress. Such a beautiful new beginning with the Empress card. The Empress and the Strength card, it just has me imagining you with this beautiful light around you. This light of compassion and love and understanding. And the two of you are moving forward toward a better life. But what I'm also hearing with this Six of Swords and the Death card is that, yes, your person will still have to take care of things in their life. And so it will require patience and understanding and trust. But you're still moving forward together. There's so much love here. So much connection. All right, anything else there, Spirit, that you want to say or talk about? Okay, for some of you, not all of you, obviously, for some of you, this relationship will lead to pregnancy. You know, it will lead to starting a family. And if you look at the Six of Swords, if you can see it, you know, she does have a child in her arms, and the three of them are moving off together. And this Empress is very pregnant. Obviously, that's not for everybody. But for those of you, you know, of childbearing age and, you know, wanting to start a family, it's showing up here. So for anyone else, you know, a birth doesn't have to be a baby. A birth can be the birth of a new life. And that is most definitely here. The two of you are moving toward a new life. Like I said, it will take time. So let's look at, I keep hitting the camera, sorry. Let's look at your relationship. We've got awareness here. And what I see with this card is, you know, she's standing here looking out the window. Her heart is far away. If you see the heart out the window, it's partially or almost totally obscured by clouds. And if you look in the background, there's a mountain. All of that is telling me that the two of you were apart, separated in some way. And it was challenging. And there was a lot of confusion and misunderstanding and not knowing what's going on or why or how the other person feels. But the title of this card is awareness. And I think the two of you, despite confusion and like this fogginess, the two of you still were fully aware. There was a part of you both that knew you would be back together and trusted that. And then we have the initial difficulty. Same heart in the clouds, but you see more of the heart this time. Look, let me see if, I don't know if you guys can even see this. Sorry. Camera issues. See how obscured it is there? And then you can see more of the heart in this one. And it's no longer as far away, like it's not out a window. It's now through the door. And yes, you know, there are steps that need to be climbed to get there. But to me, this feels like the two of you pulling apart. This feels like you coming together. You know, watching someone leave out the window and then opening the door for them to come back. And then we have your inner guide. And if you notice, the statue is holding a blue heart. And, you know, when we're talking chakras, blue is the color of communication. Going forward, communication, number one, is going to be so much better. And if you notice here, the bunny is also blue. Communication. Communication is going to get so much better. You are both going to feel more free to express yourselves honestly, to be vulnerable when you need to be, you know, scared and let them know when you're worried, or, you know, just to tell each other how much you truly love each other without worrying about getting hurt. But also, you know, your inner guide is saying, you know, the challenges aren't 100% over. They're still going to take time for things to work themselves out 100%. But it's this inner trust and this inner knowing that everything is going to be okay. And if you notice, this card is number 10. 10 for endings and 1 for new beginnings. And that's exactly where you're headed. I mean, if you want to know where your relationship's headed, I hope this I hope this helped you. I've got a few more cards here for you, but you're headed in a beautiful direction. I feel like you've come a long, long way. And the two of you have earned this reconciliation, you know, the hard way. But, you know, sometimes the hardest won gifts are the ones we cherish the most. All right, let's get some final messages here. We have boat. Interesting, because you've got, you know, boats all over the place here. Coffin. and healing heart. These cards are talking about separation, endings, healing. It's exactly what y'all have done. Y'all have been really through hell and back. But rather than letting it turn you bitter or angry or, hurtful, of course you were hurt, but rather than let it turn you hurtful toward each other or towards others, you let this change you, both of you. And you did what you needed to do to heal and to move on from the pain. All right, they want to give you one more card. Talking. Interesting, because we talked about communication. Communication is going to be so important as the two of you move forward together. Talking, communicating, being honest, sharing everything, sharing how you feel. If you have to be apart for, reasons that, may come up, you'll still communicate. And I think that was the challenge before, is that there wasn't enough communication. And it went the way it needed to. I do believe the two of you needed to be apart so that you could heal separately and then come back together as stronger individuals in order to make a stronger couple. But you're getting there. Remember to communicate from the heart. And honestly. All right, y'all, that's your reading. I hope you're as happy for yourself as I am for you, because this is beautiful. I feel like you've earned this, door to the happy ending. So thanks for being here, and I will see you at the next reading. Bye-bye, y'all. Hey, group 3. All right, we're going to take a look at your relationship and see where it's headed. So the card that you picked is card number 1. And the name of this card, I know it's not on here, so you didn't know that. The name of this card is Denial. See how she's sort of like trying to hide behind these flowers? Denial. We'll see more about what that card means and how it fits into your situation as we get into it. All right, I'm going to look at your person's energy. I'm going to look at your energy over here, look at your relationship, and we'll see where you're going. I'm going to look at your person's energy first. Now, keep in mind that, as we get into it, the roles can be reversed. So if you resonate more with their energy and vice versa, not a problem. It does happen, because I am reading for both, reading both energies. We have the Two of Cups, the Queen of Cups, and the Page of Wands. Get a few more cards here. And we have the Three of Cups, oops, Nine of Cups reversed, and the King of Cups reversed. I'm going to look at your energy now. We have the Hierophant, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Ten of Pentacles reversed. And get a couple more here. Two of Pentacles reversed, Seven of Wands reversed, and the World reversed. All right. A few cards just for your combined relationship energy, and then we'll get into it and see what's going on here. I'm already seeing and hearing a lot. We have limitation, youthful experience, and identifications. All right, so past energy. Your person's past energy, Two of Cups over the Three of Cups. Very, very much like head over heels, smitten with you, in love with you, committed to you. And likewise, you were committed to them. The Hierophant is, it's like the ultimate commitment card. You know, it can be the marriage card, but not everyone is interested in marriage or is in a position for marriage, but it's still that level of commitment. A strong commitment of no longer wanting to date anyone else. With the Two of Pentacles reversed, there is no more, you know, keeping one eye out for something better. And truly just enjoying each other's company. I see your person having a lot of fun, really enjoying your company. And then we get into the present energy. Queen of Cups over the Nine of Cups reversed. Things aren't quite as blissful right now. They're not bad, so don't take it that way. They still love you. There's still a lot of emotion there. But there's something missing. There's something that they want that's not there with the Nine of Cups reversed. It's like they're wishing for something they can't have. And unfortunately, they're focusing on that a little bit too much. And that may be creating challenges in your relationship. But we'll see. We'll pull more cards and get more, you know, deeper into it. So the future energy, where they're headed. Page of Wands over the King of Cups reversed. It's a little bit of an emotional emptiness here. And I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm going to keep going and we'll come back to that because I don't want to jump the gun there. So your energy, like I said, early on it was, or at least before now, very committed energy. even if it wasn't quite stable. You know, with the Two of Pentacles reversed, you're not looking at anyone else, considering anyone else, but it's also not 2 feet on the ground. You know what I mean? But in your heart and mind, you're committed. And then your present energy, we have the Wheel of Fortune over the Seven of Wands reversed. Things are changing in your relationship, and you know that. You're not entirely sure that they're changing for the better. Something tells you that you might be fighting a losing battle or fighting an uphill battle, and yet you're still trying to make it work. You know, you can see this wheel, and it's all sorts of tangled up. Like, the yarn is everywhere. It's a big old mess. And she's just working to untangle it and get that wheel moving. And then where you're headed as far as this relationship, you have the Ten of Pentacles reversed over the World reversed. This is an uncomfortable energy. This is an energy of also not getting what you want. You know, losing that sense of commitment and security and comfort, but still not letting go. Denial. You know, I don't always go by the name of these cards. A lot of times I go by the imagery instead. They speak to me more than the names, but the name of this one really is hitting home with your reading. But let's get a little bit deeper and see what's going on here. All right, Spirit, can you give us some clarity on their person's past energy? Two of Cups over the Three of Cups. Can we get one card there for that? Seven of Swords. You know, they really were, like I said, smitten with you, had a lot of fun with you, enjoyed your company. But even early on, there was something they weren't telling you. And I think it comes down to, you know, where they are now. I told you there's something they want that they're not getting. But I don't feel like they ever told you what that is. They kept that a secret, or they just kept it to themselves, you know. I don't feel so much like this is a lie or a betrayal, which that card can often mean. It just feels more like they weren't being completely honest, which I guess you can take that as a lie, but I don't see it quite that way. It feels more like they just kept something to themselves that they didn't think you needed to know, or that they weren't ready to share. But it turns out I think it turned out that it was more important than they thought. All right, Spirit, can you give us one card, please, for the Queen of Cups over the Nine of Cups reversed? Seven of Cups reversed. They're feeling a little bit stuck. And they don't know what to do right now. They love you. They have a lot of emotion for you. Like, you're in their heart for sure. But there's something in their life that is not complete. And they feel like they don't have any options. They don't know what to do to get what they want. Spirit, do you want to give me another card? All right. I'm going to pull another card, just try to get a little bit more information. And I don't know, maybe you can tell me what it is they want. I mean, maybe you all already know. I'm sure it'll be different for everybody, but Spirit, if you can give me a little more information on that, I think that would be probably helpful to group 3. A High Priestess reversed. All right, a couple things I'm getting here. And some of this will not apply to everybody, but for some of you, this comes down to wanting a family or not wanting a family. The High Priestess card, represents the moon, and the moon is motherhood. So for some of you, there's this stuck feeling of, they want kids and you don't, or you want kids and they don't, and sort of being at an impasse here. Now, if that's not your situation, there's still this sense of being on opposite ends of this commitment, is what I'm hearing. Wanting the same thing, but wanting it differently. I hope that makes sense to you, but that's what I just heard. Wanting the same thing, but wanting it differently. And not being able to get around that. Like, this is a big deal. Whatever this is, it's a big deal. And like, there's no other way to go. With the Seven of Cups, when it's upright, you have options. Reversed, it feels very black and white to them. All right. Spirit, can you give us a card, please, for their future energy? Page of Wands over the King of Cups reversed. Magician. So their future energy feels empty, emotionally empty, but they're trying to find a way to fix it. With the Page of Wands, it could be this energy of moving on. But with the Magician, that tells me, it's kind of like they have one foot out the door, but they don't want it out there. They want both feet to be back inside. And so they're manifesting, they're trying to make this work. They want to make it work. But it does feel like there's a big deal breaker that needs to be worked out, talked about, communicated, and, like really discussed. So for instance, if y'all are talking about getting married, but you're on different ends of the spectrum as far as having kids, or as far as where you're going to live, or what religion you're going to grow them up, raise them, any number of things that you could be on opposite ends of the spectrum on. It's really important that you talk about it early and often, because sometimes those things can really get in the way later if you haven't communicated it and talked about how you're going to handle it. So there's something here. Now, you may not be getting married, you may not be of childbearing age or want children. It may not have anything to do with that scenario. I do feel like that is the scenario for a lot of you, but maybe not everyone. But you'll know, if this is you and you're still listening, then you know there's something between you that could be a deal breaker. I feel like the both of you are trying to pretend like it's not there, like it doesn't matter. But it matters. Otherwise, they wouldn't have the Page of Wands over the King of Cups, feeling empty and like ready to move on. And you wouldn't have the Ten of Pentacles over the World, feeling also, at a loss. And, like something is could be over, but you're not letting go of it. It's this, they're trying to save it, you're trying not to let go. You don't want it to end. Neither one of you wants it to end. So just know that. No matter what's going on, neither one of you wants it to end. So can this situation be resolved? Yeah, it can be. That's up to you guys. But denying that there's a problem, and just not talking about it and hoping it'll go away, that's not going to work. That's why Spirit wanted to highlight the denial card above your whole reading. All right, Spirit, can you give us a card, please, for Group 3's past energy? The Hierophant and the Two of Pentacles reversed. The Knight of Cups. Yeah, you were as smitten with them as they were with you. Like, they swept you off your feet and you loved it. It's beautiful energy. Just very like, it almost feels like love at first sight, where you just get swept away in the emotion of it. And like almost like this running off and getting eloped sort of energy, which is fun and romantic and beautiful. But problems can come up if you haven't talked about what real life is going to be like. All right, Spirit, can you give us a card, please, for their present energy? The Wheel of Fortune over the Seven of Wands reversed. Eight of Pentacles. Yeah, you're working very hard at fixing this. You don't feel like you're winning. You feel like you're fighting an uphill battle for sure. But you're working really hard at trying to untangle this mess and to fix your relationship. They aren't quite in that energy right now. Their present energy is feeling trapped, is feeling like they love you, but they're being pulled apart from you. They do get there. They get there where they want to fix it. They're just, right now, they're not even trying to fix it. They're feeling the, right now they're just feeling the effects of it. Where I see you actively trying to fix things. And it's hard, especially when it's only one of you, putting in the effort. But there's lots of love here. So please know that. All right, Spirit, can you give us one card, please, for the Ten of Pentacles reversed over the World reversed? Okay. Two of Swords. Not wanting to make a decision. Denial, denial, denial. It's like they recognize the situation here and in the present energy, and then in the future, it's like they have a choice. They can move on or they can work to fix it. I see them working to fix it. Your present energy, working hard to fix it, but feeling like you're, fighting an uphill battle. But your future energy just has you closing your eyes to the whole situation. Like you just don't want to admit that this might not work. If you want to save this relationship, you can. If both of you want to, you can. But you've got to communicate. There's no two ways around it. You've got to. All right, let's look at your relationship energy. So we've got limitation. It's an energy of putting boundaries on your love, putting restrictions on your relationship, on your lives. It's a difficult energy. But then we also have youthful inexperience. This is a fun energy. It's joyful, but it's inexperience, meaning blindly believing everything will just be okay anyway. And then we have identifications. This card to me talks about the connection between the two of you in a little bit of an unhealthy way. Meaning, one can't go this way without their shadow following, if that makes sense. You both have to acknowledge how you feel. You don't have to agree with each other. It's okay to disagree about whatever this situation is. It's okay to have different opinions about it. It's okay to have very strong different opinions about it. What's not healthy is to not admit it. To just blindly go along with what the other person wants, even if you really don't want the same thing. Because you both have lives that you have to honor here. Now, that's not to say that if you talk about it and you work it out and you make a compromise, compromises are great. It's the blindfold and, the blindly just agreeing and going along with it. That's the dangerous scenario. You want to get these things out in the open. Talk about it. Don't hide from it. Don't pretend like it's not there. I get that there's a worry that, if you bring this up, if you talk about it, if you get it out on the table, that maybe the disagreement will be so big that you two won't work out. But you need to know that both of you want this to work out. I see it on both sides. There's love here, and there is the desire to make it work, to figure it out, to do whatever you have to do to make it work. Do whatever you have to do except like lie to yourself or lie to the other person about what you want and what you need in your life together. Okay, let me get some final messages for you here. So I know this is a little bit of a bummer of a reading, but I feel like it's a kind of a wake-up call that you probably needed. You know your situation already coming in, so I'm sure I'm not telling you anything you don't know. The good news is you didn't come here to hear me say it's over, it's not going to work, y'all are splitting up. I mean, it could happen, but it doesn't have to. And that's the good news. Love can win. All right. We have seduction, camera, and the Phoenix. Interesting. So the seduction card talks very much about, this energy you had before, this sweeping off your feet, just like head over heels, can't get enough of each other, just like stuck like glue and just full of passion and love. And like I said, just can't get enough of each other. And then we get the camera, and the camera is all about perception and how we see things. Are you seeing things through your eyes or through theirs? It's really important that you both get some perspective on the relationship and on this challenge that's between you, but also to step back and make sure that the way you're responding is honest and true to yourself. You have to be true to yourself. But the good news is the Phoenix card, that's a rebirth. It's a rekindling of a situation, growth, transformation. The two of you have had some speed bumps you had to get over and are getting over and will still have to get over. But if you do, you will just be that much stronger for it on the other side. Like I said, you just can't do it blindly. Don't deny that it's there. It's there. The elephant in the room is there. Acknowledge it, talk about it, get it out on the table, and trust that love will still be there, even if you don't agree. You can make it work if you want to. All right, y'all, that's all I've got for you. I hope that gave you some clarity and help move you in the right direction with this, and to see where you need to go and where your person is headed as well. Anyway, thank you so much for being here. Drop me a comment if you want to. I'd love to read your comments and hear how things are going, and I always do my best to respond to everybody. And thank you so much for being here and for sharing your energy, and I will see you next time. Thanks, y'all. Bye-bye.